הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. So nice to see all of you here on our grounds and wherever you are participating from via the magic of internet and everything like that. This is particularly exciting Shabbat because this is our what is this, Rabbi Lau, for a special
Our
Shabbat?
it's our back to wise Shabbat. Some of us gathered here on Sunday for our elementary school and our Aaron Milken Center students to welcome them back to campus and see friends. And here we are celebrating Shabbat as a community. All of our students got to have their grade Shabbatot, but now we get to be together with you here on campus with this beautiful sun and sky, and you all at home also joining us from your beautiful spaces.
So we hope that you'll enjoy this service, the beautiful voice of Cantor Emma Lutz, the thoughtful words we hope that you'll hear from the pulpit, and just the sense of community you have together. We feel your presence even if we don't feel you here specifically. We begin our service with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. We welcome Kevin and Ariana West, indeed all members of the WPA, our parent group, to join us on the bima here, the ladder Shabbat candles, and we ask that you rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. You may be seated. Page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru miyom liyom, yeshuato, sapru vagoyim,
We welcome our Shabbat bride with Lecha Dodi, which you'll find on page 20.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat, nekabla, Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat, nekabla, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat, nekabla, Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat, nekabla. Page 28.
Find myself lately inviting folks to just breathe for a moment with me, and so I'm going to invite that here to just take a moment of breath. And something that I have realized is that no matter how my day is going, no matter how frantic or hectic, no matter how the week feels or the month, I think for a lot of us this week felt a little wonderful, but hectic as rhythms changed and all of those things, that the sound of people in unity, saying words of unity, there's something really healing and calming about it. And so we're going to turn to the words of Shema, which are words of unity, right? They speak of oneness, but I also think of them as words that bring unity. They bring us together in this moment. They bring you who are at home with us in this moment, and they bring us together around the world. So we're going to invite you to breathe deeply into this moment of healing and unity, this moment of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We're on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'ish'arecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In our moments of greatest joy and moments of greatest possibility as we stood at the shores of the sea, we sang. On page 41, we say, sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, a song of peace, our song of redemption. Mi Chamocha is on page 40. Page 42.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu Shomrenu Lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu Shomrenu Lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen.
With that blessing of renewal that we are supposed to say each and every night, actually, though I always find especially on Shabbat, we also take a moment to think of those who maybe need a little extra renewal, people in our lives who are in need of healing, and that healing can be in our bodies, it can be in our minds, it can be in our souls, it can be in all of those things. And so we're going to offer, if you're joining us from home and want to share names in the chat, and if you're here, if you just want to sort of shine those names forward, and we'll gather them into our prayers as we turn to a prayer of healing, if you want to follow along.
Page 253. Mi sheberach avotenu makor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu makor habracha. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
The silent Amidah, it occurred to me that we as a society are not so comfortable with silence. The minute we hear silence, we play a little music underneath. We are not comfortable with it. We want to fill it in. But I think our tradition understood that there was a place for it, or at least for quiet meditation. And Every day and every service, we afford ourselves the opportunity for the silent Amidah. You'll find it on pages 48 through 62, and traditionally we rise.
יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. Yehiu leratzon imrefi, vehegyon libi lefaneh.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back. When I say welcome back, it's not like many of you haven't been here all along and coming every week. But I know that there's a newness that's happening. We have school beginning, so that's a new chapter in the life of our students, a new grade typically, often a new teacher, new subjects, an opportunity to begin again. We have some new parents in our school. We have new members of our congregation. It's exciting for them, indeed exciting for all of us, because tomorrow night brings in the month of Elul, the month leading up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and that's the month where we really gear up, and that too is the beginning of a new beginning. By the way, I was debating, I heard a very cute story. Someone sent it to me, and it's so good that I think I'm going to use it on the high holidays, but I'm going to test it out here first. If you guys don't laugh, then you'll never hear it again. But if you do, and by the way, it's clean naturally, because sometimes some of you send me stuff which is really funny, which I can't even repeat in my own household. So this one worked really, really well. It was a video, but you'll use your imaginations. This little boy comes home and walks in the door after school, and says to his father, Dad, you're going to be getting a call from the principal. And the father says, okay, what happened? And the little boy says, well, there was a bowl of apples on the table. And there was a sign that said, take only one, God is watching. Father said, well, that's fine. He said, well, Dad, you know what I did? There was another bowl of cookies on another table, and I wrote a sign, help yourself, God's tied up with the apples. What do you think? Is it over a 7? Raise your hand. All right, I'll think about it. I was reflecting what I might share with you at this time of new beginnings for parents, for children, indeed for every single one of us. And I want to offer 4 specific suggestions that I think we can each consider, hope we'll each consider implementing in the year. And I hope that all 4 of these will resonate with you. The first one is, whether you live alone, whether you live with others, choose and commit to one area of Jewish growth in the coming year. You can call it your family mitzvah of the year, but choose one. You might consider making one what might be thought of as a moral mitzvah, and another one which is more ritual, although there's often overlap. You can move into it slowly, or you can kind of jump in whole hog. I just realized whole hog is not the term I want to use as a rabbi. But in any event, you can jump into it with a lev malev, with your full heart. But give yourself something to which you can aspire. For example, you might want to keep a little more kosher. If you do, set specific goals. You might want to do a little more of Shabbat on a regular basis. You might want to say regularly a blessing before you eat, or attend services, or say personal prayers. Or in the moral sphere, you might want to give tzedakah on a regular basis, or visit the sick, or perhaps try not to gossip in the coming year. But have a family meeting if you have a family, or choose one maybe with a friend, and make it your annual mitzvah. Obviously, you can do more than one. And by the way, if you falter, and invariably we all will, then just go back and keep working on it. Don't allow faltering to be a reason not to continue. And observe it whether you feel like it or not, whether you are in the mood to do it or not. And then a year from now, look back and assess how you did. Which takes me to the second suggestion. It's related to the first. Make your actions far more important than your feelings. Don't wait for your feelings to motivate you. We are living in a very feeling-based world, a preoccupation with feelings. We wait for our feelings to motivate us. That is neither a good recipe to make a better world or to make a happier human being. As I suggested, do the mitzvah irrespective of your feelings. I'm not suggesting that moods are not important. They are. But they should not be the arbiter of how we act. Any of you who live with a moody person know that you don't want their mood to be the arbiter of how they act. And for your children, well, they may say they're not in the mood to do their homework. They're not in the mood to brush their teeth, nor they're not in the mood to make up the bed. We may not be in the mood to fast on Yom Kippur. So what? So we're not in the mood. One of the great gifts to my mind of Judaism is you should do the right thing whether you're in the mood or not. Because if we wait for our moods to ultimately motivate us, we may never get there. There's 613 mitzvot in the Torah, something like 369 are applicable today. Many of the others, all the others, applied only in Israel, or if not all, most, when the temple was built. As far as I know, none of them take into account whether we are in the mood to observe them or not. but a great lesson for all of us and for our children. If someone needs help, even when we're not in the mood, try to help them. And often by doing what is right, our mood changes. The biggest battle in life is not between us and society. It's between ourselves and ourselves, I believe. Overcoming our desires and learning that early on, for a child to learn that is a gift that they will take for the rest of their life because it teaches self-control, which I believe is a prerequisite for a happy life. I do not know, some of you may, but I simply don't know a happy person who lacks self-control. It is a prerequisite because otherwise you live on a roller coaster. So our tradition, I believe, is teaching us, do what is right, and if our mood catches up, all the better. Which leads me to the third suggestion to consider implementing. Make God and the Torah your moral compass. Let me share an example of what I mean by that. We all want our children to know right from wrong. So if I were to ask, or you were to ask your child, would you steal? My sense is that most children would say they would not steal. But then follow it up with a question. Why? Why shouldn't I steal? And I have a feeling that you will get the response something like, well, my parents told me not to. My parents would be angry or disappointed in me. It's wrong. By the way, that's a great answer. It's true. And if I asked most of the adults here, I suspect you would also say, no, it's wrong. I shouldn't steal. My parents taught me those values. But I believe there is a far better and frankly more important reason not to steal, because it's in the Torah. It's in the Ten Commandments. You shall not steal. Lo tignov. God tells us not to steal. It's a mitzvah not to steal. That is a religious response. The same if I ask, should you give charity? Yes. Why? Well, there's a lot of good reasons. You should care about other people. Mom and dad told me to, etc., etc. But ultimately, it's in the Torah. God commands us, teaches us, implores us to give charity. So why is that all so much more important than only my parents told me? And that's a good one. I'm not discounting that. I remember once speaking to a young man, asked him about drugs. I said, do you use drugs? He said, absolutely not. My mother would kill me. That is a good reason. It is. But let me tell you why it's vitally important that people say my response ultimately is because God and the Torah tell me not to. Because it puts God and the Torah front and center as the source of our values. That's one of the reasons that many of you here send your kid to Jewish day school or to a religious school or want your kid to learn religion. That's one of the reasons I think many of you come to synagogue, because you see the Torah, hopefully, and God as the source of your values. If you feel that way, it's important to articulate it, and really, really important to let your children know and remind ourselves that there is a higher authority for them and for you, a higher authority. Even as some of you may remember the Hebrew National commercial, we answer to a higher authority. Well, we do answer to a higher authority, but if we don't invoke that authority, we forget it. There's something very powerful for a child to learn, that there's something higher than mom and dad, and something to whom even mom and dad answer to. And finally, my fourth suggestion, it's a simple one, but I believe, like many simple things, simple is not simplistic, it can be profound. Choose a Jewish book in the coming year to read with your family, with your significant other, with someone. There are so many fine books on Judaism. I'm a big fan of Jewish Literacy, or the Book of Jewish Values by Rabbi Telushkin, Judaism's Life-Changing Ideals by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs. Rabbi Naomi Levy has just really brilliant works about prayer and the like. The Jewish Book of Why by Alfred Kolach. There's so many great books. But pick one and pick a chapter every week and then gather with your family every week, or your spouse, or your friend, or whatever, and once a week set a regular time for 10 minutes to talk about what you read. So, as we return to school, and all of us gear up for a new year in our lives, I hope you'll really give some thought to those 4 ideas. Choose a mitzvah or 2, or find some arena of Jewish growth and set goals in that arena. Make it your family mitzvah. Remind yourselves that our tradition teaches that our actions are more important than our feelings, and not to live by our feelings alone. Make God and the Torah our moral compasses, the basis of our values and the values we hope to communicate to our children. And choose a Jewish book and read it, and get together once a week to discuss each chapter. It's my hope, frankly, it's my belief, that if we do these things, and by the way, what better time to begin than right now? If we incorporate these ideals in our lives, in addition to what clearly will be Jewish growth, I genuinely believe that the coming year will be filled with more growth and ultimately more joy. Shabbat Shalom. We honor the United States, our country, and we honor the state of Israel by always including a prayer for our country and a prayer for the state of Israel. You'll find a prayer for our country on page 258, and I welcome you to join me in reading it together. The reason I welcome you is because I have to find my glasses in advance. Here we go. Please join me at the bottom of the page. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Avinu שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו.
Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Together we say, Amen.
Avinu שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, Amen. Selah, Amen. Selah.
One of the ways we honor Shabbat is by reciting Kiddush together. And I'm going to invite our Y school teachers and our administrators to join us to make Kiddush with us together. So as you are walking up, one of the nicest things that one of my friends does at his Shabbat table is that he always asks people to go around the room and share something good that happened to them this week, during the week. Now, he lives in New York, so I don't get to see him as often, but it's a beautiful, beautiful memory that I have in my mind. And we do that in some small way here. if you've had something nice happen to you, a nice Shehechianu moment, an anniversary, a wedding, something good happened in your family, we just ask you to rise so that we can honor you for the joyful moment. And indeed, with that in mind, we'll ask all of you to rise to join us for the Kiddush, which you will find on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom techilo למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat l'chaim.
So we're going to invite anyone who's not a student, a school student, not just a student of life. We'll invite you to have a seat.
And
But
maybe if any of our students want to come back for a minute.
Yeah, I was going to try
Or
that.
not.
I know we have
Or
some
not.
friends.
All right,
Hold on,
Mrs.
Mrs.
Weiser's
Weiser.
on
We're
it.
just going to fill some time while Mrs. Weiser goes and brings our kids. I do want to just say in this moment, as we were speaking about celebrations and new beginnings, I wanted to just note Rabbi Yoshi is sending his love on this Shabbat from New York. If you read his beautiful Kavanah, he is bringing his youngest daughter to her new beginning at Barnard in New York. And Pam Kleiman, our amazing director of student services, also couldn't be here because she just welcomed a new grandson. So she also has her own new beginning. So just wanted to note that and name that. And I see our students coming back. Sure, they can come on up. Why not? They'll come up.
Come up on the bima?
We'll invite all our friends, our students, new, returning, whatever age you are, we'll invite you on up to the Bima. You can be at Wise School, you can be at another school. I'm going to invite my always partner in crime.
Hello, guys.
Come on up.
Oh yeah, come on, we need lots of... Come on up, Benny, my love. Jackson, you too? Yeah, why not? Come on up.
Okay, shh, you have to be quiet.
Yeah. So I had the real pleasure with Mrs. Weiser this morning to offer our kindergartners a blessing on this new beginning, but we're going to offer all of our students, all of their parents, really all of us deserve blessings, and we are all students of life. And so I actually think this blessing, while it may be specifically for our friends up here, is really a blessing for all of us. And this is a prayer for the beginning of school, which is adapted from my friend, Rabbi Michael Latz. We can fit a couple more if we want.
Maddie, you want to come up?
Come on over this side,
guys.
too.
We can
There's
fit you.
space.
Come on up. Okay, we're ready.
There's more in the front. It's true. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to offer these words. Shh. All right, friends, this is for you. Mi sheberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless you, our students, teachers, administrators, parents, and our whole community.
May you expand your mind, your conscience, your compassion for your fellow students, community, and the world around you. We hope that you giggle at funny stories, let lessons take you to worlds you imagine, create grand adventures with tissue paper and paper towels and markers and glue. Listen to those who are different and trust your hearts to lead your way. Challenge yourself and others to grow together, to problem solve, to be a team who respects yourselves and each other.
Learn the difference between intelligence and wisdom, and embrace the deep joy of expanding your mind in theater and books and math and science and gym and history and puzzles and Hebrew and Judaic studies and writing and field trips and art and media. Whew. I'm tired already. I know. And above all, my friends, and all of us who guide your hands and your gifts, more than anything, I think I speak for all of us, we hope that you fall in love with learning, that you grow to understand the power of community, and that you turn to our text and tradition for guidance as you fill your own endless potential. And we hope that this blessing joins with the blessing that we offer you each Shabbat, and one we're going to offer you right now, the oldest in our tradition.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
May God's light shine on you and be kind to you.
May the presence of God always be with you and bring you peace.
All right, let's turn around and
We'll invite you all
open
to
the
rise.
ark.
We're on page 282. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא זמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
So we turn now. I taught at a minyan for those saying Kaddish this morning. I actually used some of Rabbi Yoshi's beautiful teaching about how life is much more about letting go, learning to let go, than it is about holding on. And he offered us this teaching from Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our ancestors, which says that a love that is talui b'davar, that is dependent on a tangible thing, that's a love that can disappear. But love that is lo talui b'davar, a love that isn't dependent on anything, that sort of unconditional love, that's a love that never ends. And so as we turn to these words of Kaddish Yatom, we think about the people we've had to let go, even when we maybe more than anything in the world wanted to hold on. And we also think about that love and the way it continues to sustain us even from afar and across time and space and life. So if you are in a period of Shiv'ah, 7 days following the loss of a loved one, we'll invite you to rise if you are here and share the name with us if you are joining us from home. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first month, mourning a loved one, we'll invite you the same to rise and share a name or share one from home. If you are in the period of Shana, the first year traditionally for the loss of a parent, but if you are remembering someone, we'll invite you to share a name if you wish. And if you are here on this Shabbat with a yahrzeit marking the anniversary of a death, we invite you to rise or share the name from home. And lastly, we'll invite you, if it is your custom, you want to stand in solidarity, or you're remembering maybe those who don't have someone left saying Kaddish for them, we turn to the words on page 294. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei Rabbi, v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chai echon u'vyom echon, u'v'chai dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yithalal Shmei Dekudsha B'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechemata Damiran ba'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who are here mourning and comfort to those who are bereaved, as together we say, amen. I invite you to be seated.
It seems like we just got here,
And
but
yet,
we are leaving a little higher, I think, than when we first arrived.
so as always, thank you to our musicians, to Tali, to Jeff. Thank you for your beautiful music. To our team, without whom we couldn't do this, and it certainly would not look as beautiful. I mean, I guess God helps too. And to all of you for joining us here. We love having you and your energy and your Shabbat spirit. And to all of you who are joining us at home, thanks for joining us. And as we enter this new school year, and especially this new month of Elul, may it be one of growth and laughter and joy and blessing.
Oseh shalom b'mramav. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Let me hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. B'mramav. Oh, say shalom. B'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. B'mramav. Oh, say shalom. B'mramav. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Chodesh Tov.